They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they watch you.
Come on, for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
The Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000 describes a public officer as a person employed or engaged in the public service of the Federation, state or local government, public corporations or private company, wholly or jointly floated by any government. This public officer is a person entrusted with government property and is expected to use such property judiciously for the nation. Converting government property to private use is an abuse of office. Such abuse include carting home government furniture and seized items, a driver using official vehicle for private purposes, diversion of drugs from government hospitals, converting government petroleum products to use in personal vehicles, amongst others. This is our area of focus on this week's edition of the program, Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am Ruth Awudi. Also on today's edition, some Nigerians speak their minds on these acts that some public officials engage in. Still to come is a segment on Know the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000, a segment on ethics and values, and anti-corruption stories. Hawa Sani Garba is here with the latest developments in the world of anti-corruption.
Welcome to this segment of Corruption Must Go. I am Hawa Sani Garba. Two persons who were members of National Anti-Corruption Awareness Organization of Nigeria, an NGO affiliated with ICPC, have been sentenced to 9 years imprisonment for impersonation and fraud. The duo, Bashiru Akinola and Smart Ajesafe, were arraigned before Justice Mahmood Abbas of the Oyo State High Court 5 in October 2007 on a 9-count charge by ICPC for impersonating their staff and attempting to dupe a former chairman of Igbeda local government area, Oyo State, Mr. Kolawole Oke, and head of personnel department, Mr. Kolawole Oyerinde, of 2 million naira, for which they pleaded not guilty. ICPC counsel, Mr. Akinola Olakunle, while pressing the charge against them, told the court that one of the accused, Akinola, was arrested in 2007 with marked 300,000 naira notes in a sting operation organized by ICPC after the receipt of a complaint by the local government officials, while Ajesafe was later arrested. According to the counsel, the offences contravene Section 8, subsection 1A of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000, Section 419 of the Criminal Code Cap C38 laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2004, and Section 107 subsection 2 of the Criminal Code Cap C38 laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2004. The offences are punishable under the same sections of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000 and the Criminal Code laws, respectively. Justice Abbas, in his ruling, sentenced Bashiru Akinola to 6 years imprisonment with an option of fine of 250,000 naira and Smart Ajesafe to 3 years imprisonment with an option of fine of 200,000 naira. A third accused person, Mrs. Sekina Bello, who was charged with the convicts, had earlier been discharged and acquitted by the court in a no-case submission. ICPC has charged the treasurer of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, Abuja Municipal, Mr. Percy Ndam, to court for allegedly embezzling 495.8 million naira belonging to the union. Ndam, who is facing a 5-count charge before Justice Adegbola Adeniyi of the FCT High Court 20 Apo, was accused of conspiring with contractors Frank Igbenidion and Uche Iwedi to convert 495,828,000 naira meant for NUT housing loan scheme into personal use. Counsel to ICPC, Mr. Rahim Adeshino, while pressing the charges against them, told the court that Ndam, who was a treasurer of NUT Abuja Municipal, and his associates committed the crime between November 2011 and October 2015. Their offences contravene Section 311 and are punishable under Section 312 of the Penal Code Act Cap 532, Volume 4 Laws of the FCT, Nigeria. All the accused persons pleaded not guilty to the charges when read to them, as their counsel applied for their bail. Percy Ndam was admitted to bail in the sum of 100 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. Igbenidion 50 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum, and Inwedi 20 million naira with 1 surety in like sum. The court said all the sureties must be resident in the FCT, swear affidavit of service, and should not be below the rank of assistant director in the employment of the federal government or FCT or any of their agencies. The matter has been adjourned to 31st October and 1st November 2017 for hearing. The anti-corruption debate for secondary schools organized by ICPC in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State has been won by State College, Ikore Ekpene. The competition, which was keenly contested by 8 secondary schools selected by the State Ministry of Education from the 3 senatorial zones of Akwa Ibom State, was the first of its kind in the state. It featured persuasive articulation of points, brilliant elocution, and captivating oratory by the participating students. Mr. Justin Kwatsier of the Corruption Monitoring and Evaluation Department, who represented the Commission at the event, commended the students' performance and declared that the competition was achieving its aim as it was designed to engage the youth actively in the anti-corruption crusade. Mr. Kwatsier charged the students to see the competition as an avenue for impacting on their generation while embracing the spirit of sportsmanship.
The ICPC is quite keen in galvanizing the support of young people in the fight against corruption. As you know, there is so much miseducation around, and we need to catch the students or our children at this young age so that they will understand the issues, and together we'll build a better Nigeria for them and for the generations that are yet unborn.
In his goodwill message, the Commissioner of Education, Pastor Paul Udofia, who was represented by the Director in charge of secondary schools and higher education in the ministry, Barrister Teresa Ati, expressed the hope that the debate would activate the reading habit in students.
We know that corruption has eaten deep into the fabric of our society, and the vision of this commission is to ensure that corruption is reduced to the barest minimum in our society. That is why they throw this debate to the school system, where we are grooming and nurturing the future leaders of Nigeria. If at this initial level they are told that corruption is bad, they will definitely grow up with this idea. By the time they get to leadership position in a society, what we are experiencing will be a thing of the past. So it is very, very important, this debate exercise. So I welcome everyone and encourage you to do your utmost best to ensure that the organizers' aim is not defeated.
He praised ICPC for the initiative and pledged the support of his ministry towards anti-corruption crusade in schools, especially in Akwa Ibom State. At the end of the event, Government Secondary School Afana Eket came second, while Mary Hanen Secondary School Oron and Akal Model Secondary School Akal Ofot came third and fourth respectively. That's all from this segment of Corruption Must Go. Back to Ruth Awodi.
Thank you, Hawa. The Public Service Rules has prescribed a number of rules and conditions of service that guide public servants in the performance of their duties. It also specifies unacceptable behaviors, one of which is embezzlement of public property. It is no longer news, though, to hear that government officials convert government properties to personal use. Are Nigerian workers aware of the implications of these acts? We spoke to a cross-section of public servants on the subject matter. These are their diverse views.
We join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want to.
One hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Government drivers, they use government vehicle to do some private work with these ones. Is it true?
Yes, ma, it's true, ma. So you know, say most of guys, after you brought them from home to office, they will send you to go and pick their children from school. From where you take his wife, you go and take his wife from market and you sit there till madam buy market finish before you bring back to my market. But after closing after closing from office, they will take you to beer parlor and some all this area, some different area. That is wrong. After years as a government property, 6 o'clock. You know, as a government property, not supposed to be outside. After 6 o'clock, after you take Oga home, you need to be before 6 o'clock. You need to return the motor to the office. Man, some guys, if you talk some about the place I'm working before, till 10 o'clock, you are still with Oga for beer parlor, all these clubs and some bad area. And why it's not good. And
Talk to us.
Yeah. Most times, the properties that are being named as obscure, the things that spoil in the office, government normally do away with them. The government normally usher them by doing the writing, advertising, so other people will come. But you find out that these items, I will mention many of them. These items, some of them are something that can be repaired, but due to government's own, I can say, that kind of protocols, there are certain things they will repair immediately and start using it. But when you ask them to repair, they feel that they cannot do that. Let them, because they have the power. Some of them convert it. Something like ACs, something like furnitures, including beds, something like most organization generators. You give them, the technician within the organization will give them what it will take to repair. But the protocol on it, go here, even officers are having interest on it. They will call their own people. Call this one, call this one. By the time they are doing that, time is going. Some of them are being left outside. Rain spoil them. So all those things are corruption. Government properties, we make parable, we said a good that so many people has, hungry, kill that goat. Because this one will say, I am the one to feed. This one say, no, I am the one to feed. The argument there continues. So, if we want to fight corruption, we'll start from government organization. Sanitize the organization. Anything that is being removed, government should do the right thing by advertising it. Even the staff, if they want, they will bid with other people, buy it with covering paper that will show that they have acquired it from government, pay token amount, not taking it as if it's a way of robbery. It is robbery. You rob the government, you rob the officers in the commission, because other people may benefit. The person alone will convert by a way of taking it without anybody knowing. It is a serious corruption. Yes.
In most cases, our attention is always focused on monetary conversion by civil and public servants. We ignore other aspects which are also very vital to anti-corruption fight. For instance, a staff or an employee converts his employer's property. It could be vehicle, it could be a building, it could be common stationery in the office, like photocopying papers, staple machines. You see, people take all these things without reasoning it that they are involved in corrupt practice, but that is actually corrupt practice, because those items or these items I have just mentioned, they are not yours, they belong to your employer. For instance, a driver is giving money to buy fuel. He goes to a filling station and tells the fuel attendant, put 1,000, give me receipt of 2,000 naira. He collects the difference. That is corruption. He is giving money to buy hydraulic. He buys it, takes part of it, and retains the other one for his own use. It could be a big boss in the office who decides to change all the tires in his official vehicle. Not that the tires are expired or worn out, but he does it for the purpose of collecting those old tires and convert them, put them in his official vehicle. There are some public servants, civil servants who are entitled to official vehicles to be used during working hours. Those public officers, what they do in most cases is that they take these vehicles and travel with them, not for the purpose of performing their official duties. What they are doing is also corrupt practice. So if we want to look at corruption, we should be able to look at it holistically. It's not just limited to somebody embezzling money from his office. It goes beyond that. Okay. So there is need for the anti-graft agents to go beyond issue of money to all these items, so as to curb corruption in all its entirety.
Corruption actually has eaten deep into the fabrics of the society. It has just gone beyond monetary stealing of funds. It has gone into other things. You know, a situation where you see government, a government official retires and goes away with the cars that they've been using. You know, converts his own personal property. It is corruption. You use government offices for your own private, whatever that is not meant for you. Government is for government use, and you convert it to your own personal use. Is corruption. Cars, we heard of people who go retire with government vehicles, properties of government converted. You know, These things are some of the things we want to highlight. You don't need to take that which does not belong to you. That which is meant for the government should be meant for the government. When you retire honorably and leave the things that do not belong to you for the government, because other people also will be employed and they will still make use of those things. That's what I'm trying to enlighten.
What does the ICPC law say in respect of the conversion of government property to private use?
Thank you, sir, for joining us on Corruption Must Go.
Thank you for having me.
Sir, can you shed light on how public officials misuse government properties?
Misuse of public property by public officials is a very serious problem in this country. And it takes various forms. For example, you've been allocated official quarters as a staff. You find instances where people go and rent out those properties to tenants and collect rent. And such people, again, they end up even having multiple allocations of public residences. Examples also abound where for ordinary things like even photocopy, stencil and papers are provided in the offices, and then you carry those documents or those papers that are provided for official work. People use it to do their community town hall meeting records of them and all of those kind of things. This is actually evidence still of lack of integrity. Most times people tend to oh, this is not important, it's just a minor thing, we can overlook it. But it is from those small practices that bigger things develop. We must learn as a people to act at every time conscious of what is ours and what is for government or what is for the public. There's a popular saying in Nigeria where they say a worker deserves to chop where he's working. This talk about workshop and all of that. Yes, but it is not supposed to be done in a way as we have seen done here in Nigeria, where you eat and eat and eat and until you completely destroy the source of that. What has been provided is for the benefit of yourself in order to improve your services to the public. It's not to be used otherwise.
Thank you for that, sir. So what is the position of the law concerning this?
Yeah, like I said before, there are penalties provided for any infraction of the law. So if we find ourselves committing breaches of the law and there's an investigation and you're found culpable, definitely you'll be prosecuted. Under the ICPC Act, it falls under the offense of abuse of office. That is where you use your position as a public officer to confer corrupt advantage on yourself, on a relative, or any other associate. Of course, it has penalties, 7 years imprisonment, without option of fine.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome.
So, now, straight to business.
Good.
Now, that case between State versus Femi Wole.
Femi Wole?
Yes.
Is he your son?
That's my parents.
Did he actually kill the wife?
His juvenile delinquency, they must have taken some few bottles.
A man of 40. Juvenile delinquent?
Now, what do we do? I don't want him to go to jail.
We are very good friends. But for this, I cannot help you.
You know I was so nice to you in school. I took care of you.
I'll politely leave.
No, you can't leave. How much do you want me to pay?
Wale, this is not about money. It's about the law. Bribing a judge to subvert the cause of justice is corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
It is expected that every public servant comply with the provisions of the Public Service Rules. The overall aim is to ensure good conduct, honesty, and accountability. There is therefore need for appropriate supervision and demand for accountability in the use of public property by public officials. Let's not give room for corruption to thrive. Thank you for watching and see you again next week.